Hey, what's going on guys, Timzy here, and today we're going to be continuing our How to Defend series, moving on to the objective Kids on Oregon. So if you guys are enjoying the series, make sure to hit that like button, and if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. It helps me out a ton. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So you guys know I don't want to waste your time, let's get right into the op picks. So when it comes to a Kids defense, you're going to want to bring a Smoke, a Jager, a Amai, a Mute, and a Maestro. Now if Amai is banned for whatever reason, I recommend bringing a Melusi instead. Now onto the reinforcements, you're going to go ahead and get all 4 attic walls, so that means the 2 attic walls facing Big Tower, the 2 attic walls facing Trophy, the 2 master walls. You're going to get one of the kids' walls next to Big Window. You're going to go down and get the stage walls inside of Meeting. And then you're going to go ahead and either reinforce the dining wall in kitchen, or you can use the other reinforcement on the kids' wall facing attic. It's completely up to you. But let's get into the positioning and utility. Alright, so starting out with Smoke, the first thing that you're going to do is going to go into attic and open up this attic hatch. Once you do that, you're going to make a rotation hole between attic and kids. I usually like to make this a full rotate hole just so that I can run through it if necessary. Then we are going to open up this kitchen hatch. You're going to reinforce the right side kids wall facing Big Window. And after that, you're going to make your rotate on the left hand side of this reinforcement so that you can go from kids to Big Window pretty freely. And then once you do that, you have a white rotate to make. And then after you're making this rotate, you're pretty much set on the rotate holes that you need to make, but there's quite a few holes that I like to make just for vertical play. So the first one we're going to make is going to be right here. And this is going to be able to see the green hall that leads into kitchen window. This is pretty much a free kill every single time. Our second hole is going to be right at this kid's door here. And you can actually see the security door walk in like so. And then another one I like to make is the holes underneath Big Window. Just in case anybody hops in Big Window, you can have somebody playing inside of security to pretty much kill them whenever they hop in. And now for some nitro holes. So these holes right here, typically this is a really common default plant for a lot of players. So if you have a nitro player inside of kitchen, they nitro up through these holes, it lands next to this plant, and it'll be a Plantinal nitro. Our next holes are going to be right here, and this is going to be next to the classroom door. And you're going to be able to nitro up and kill anybody that's trying to plant on concrete, which is unnitroable, but again, you could throw it up and over and it'll land here and kill that person. So when it comes to playing Smoke, you are typically going to be playing inside of kids, so that you can pretty much play all of these holes above to rotate and pretty much just try to help your roamers. You know, if you have somebody playing in kitchen, you can kind of help them from above. If you have somebody that's inside of, classroom or inside of Z, you can kind of help them with all these different holes that you have from above. But the biggest thing is kitchen. So you'll be playing in kids a lot just to kind of help from above. And that's it. Alright, so moving on to Jager, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get the ADSs down inside of attic. You're just going to put it inside a swamp. And this will be for a shield with Amai. Once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and place your barbed wire. Put one on the trophy door. Your second one is going to be on the white stairs. And then as for your last ADS, you can either place it near Big Window, or you can place it near trophy door to cover the smoke shield that's going to be here. So let's just place it here for now. And then as for the reinforcements, you're going to go down and you're going to get the kitchen wall. And that's going to be your main setup for Jager. You may or may not grab another wall. It really depends. A lot of the time Jager has a lot of stuff to place down, so he really won't be able to really grab too many walls. And there's some other ops that don't really have much to do, so they can grab more walls than just 2. So that's pretty much going to be your initial setup for Jager. When it comes to playing Jager, though, you're going to want to roam. You want to roam typically inside of kitchen, inside of green hall, potentially contest people pushing Big Tower, and then definitely trying to play inside of Meeting at some point if you can. Try to coordinate with your other roamer. And then, for the most part, you just want to utilize the smoke that's going to be above. Try to have the smoke watch certain angles while the Jager plays and holds the other angles. Alright, moving on to Amai. You're going to be the operator that gets all 4 of the north side walls, so that means the 2 attic walls facing big tower as well as the 2 stage walls facing big tower. Because you don't have a whole lot to set up, you just got to reinforce, place a shield, and then that's pretty much it. But in the case of this video, I'm just going to get the attic wall here. I'm not going to go ahead and get the stage wall, but you will in theory get that stage wall. We're going to place our shield inside of swamp. And if you remember, we had Jager give me a couple ADSs here, and then also the Amai is going to be playing here just to throw his discs inside of attic, just to deny more utility that's coming through from a big tower attic push. And besides that, you want to play in attic as long as possible. You don't want to die in this position, which is why you have a rotate hole in the kids, so that you can run out. But you want to play here as long as possible. You want to build up your Amais, your discs, throw them up, try to burn more utility, and ultimately try to keep the shield up, because if it can be up the entire time, this is pretty easy gunfights as a Amai player for anybody that's trying to push attic. So this should for the most part be relatively easy. If they do end up getting the shield, you want to get out of this position. Like I said, you don't want to die. You want to run through the kids, rotate, and get back into the site, and then try to hold attic from inside of kids. You just want to waste time here as long as possible, some utility and droning, and then at the end of the day, you just want to stay alive, get out. Unless the shield is up, then you can kind of play this position, maybe get a kill or 2. And then of course, if they do not push the attic, you can always hit this attic window, kill anybody on kids repels, or you can pretty much help the site out if they're doing a full master push. You can play a close attic door and play contact on the breach, on the trophy door, or anywhere else the attackers are pushing. Alright, so moving on to Maestro, we're going to go ahead and get the attic to trophy side walls. And then once you do that, we're going to go ahead and place both of our Evil Eyes. And if you have extra time, I recommend helping reinforce one of the extra walls that you may need, just because somebody in this strat is going to have to get up to either 3 or 4 walls. But our first Evil Eye is going to go right here. It's going to be on the wall facing trophy door. And this is just going to get you info on both the trophy door, as well as potentially attic and even the breach. And then our second Evil Eye can go in one of 2 spots. Let's go ahead and make this rotate real quick. But one of the spots I recommend checking out is going to be top white right next to this rotate. People like to place it right on the wall here. And this allows you to either turn it to the left and see people outside the right side of the big window. You can see trophy door. You can see people running in the breach to the default plants. Or if you don't like to place it here, you can actually place it in big window. So you place it right around here. And this will have the same purpose. It'll see the trophy run in. You'll see anybody hopping in big window, pushing into the storm bed here. Although the one thing I don't like about this one is you can't really see as much info as the other spot. So typically I would just place it here. Another good spot that you can place it is going to be inside of attic facing big tower. Just right on this wall here. So that you could look all the way down attic and you could see where people are pushing, and what wall's getting open and everything like that. Maybe place it a little bit further to the right so that this little fence here doesn't really block as much of your line of sight, but you can also do this as well. It really is up to you. But moving on to our barbed wire, we're going to place our barb one on big window, and then the other one, it depends. I like to either place it inside of attic. You could place it right here. You pretty much open this hatch, and then you place the barbed wire right here, so they're forced to break the bar before they push across. And then with this hatch open, they literally can't avoid this barbed wire. If you don't want to place it there, you can actually also place it on the master breach. Whenever they open the wall, they're going to run through games here to try to get a plants, typically in that default corner. So a lot of the time I place barb here. The one downside is if they do ash underneath or impact underneath, it may destroy the barb. So I recommend putting it inside of attic more often than not. But anyways, that's going to be your setup when it comes to playing Maestro and positioning. I would recommend either playing near big window or playing near top white near this rotate, so that you can kind of go in and out, either contest the wall, stay top white to contest bottom white stairs, or play near big window to contest not only big window, but you can contest the trophy door from here, as well as if you open a line of sight right here, you can contest the wall when it does get opened. Alright, last but not least, we're going to have mutes, and a mute's going to be getting the master closet walls. And then once you do that, you're going to be placing your mute jammers on pretty much every wall in the objective, as well as down inside of meetings. So you're going to place a mute jammer on this master wall that I'm reinforcing right now. Once we do that, we're going to go into attic, and we're also going to place mute jammers on both the south side attic walls, as well as the north side attic walls. And then we are going to drop into meeting, and then you're going to mute the stage wall. And pretty much once we meet the stage wall, that's your entire setup for the most part. When it comes to playing mute, you don't necessarily have to run the shotgun here. You could run the MP5 and then have the smoke make any sort of lines of sight or holes in the floor that need to be made on the defensive side. But when it comes to playing the mute, you can either play somewhat near the objective, maybe play early Master, early Armory, shoot some drones, waste some time, or you could even roam as the mute and maybe play with the Jager, because for the most part, you want to try to have a Nitro underneath if possible. Like I showed you before, we have a couple holes that you guys can make as the smoke player to deny certain plants, so it only makes sense that the mute, which is our Nitro in this case, is playing underneath so that they can actually capitalize on all of these vertical holes that we're making for all of these default plants. So you're going to communicate with your Jager and kind of roam around. You guys can kind of play together, play off of each other, and ultimately the goal is to have the Nitro from the mute for late round to deny any plants that the attackers may be doing. Anyways, guys, that's going to be all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did so, don't forget to leave a like on the video. And if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. It helps me out a ton. And if this is the first video you guys are watching in the series, then make sure to go down to the description below and check out all of the other maps and sites that we've done so far. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.